Examples, we couldn't immediately pay death gratuities to those who die on active duty during the lapse.
So clearly Washington knew that the shutdown would put survivor benefits at risk for the families of fallen troops. My next guest is doing something about that. Montel Williams is a board member of the Fisher House Foundation, the charity that's now paying survivor benefits to the families of fallen troops during the shutdown. He's also the creator of livingwell.montel.com, and Montel joins me now. Montel, this makes me very angry. I'm sure it makes many Americans angry. You're a former naval commander. You're in the Marine Corps. You served for 22 years, and you're part of the board that's come to the rescue here, this Fisher House operation. But this is ridiculous, isn't it? When a government shuts down and can't pay death payments to widows and to children who lost their father?
I don't even know where to begin, Piers. Right before I came out, you were interviewing and talking to two congressmen, one of them who had the audacity to take a shot at the Secretary of Defense, Hagel, and say that he did this for some political reason where he had the authority to do so. If he had had the authority to do so, he would have done so without having to pass a bill today. The authority was not there. You cannot find it written anywhere. There was no discretionary opportunity for him to be able to do this.
And his statement seemed pretty on the money to me. Chuck Hagel said, "I'm offended, outraged, and embarrassed that the government shutdown prevented the Department of Defense from fulfilling the most sacred responsibility in a timely manner." So he's making his feelings pretty clear.
But it's not, it's embarrassed. It's almost not just disrespectful. This is a man who right now is shepherding the 21 soldiers who have died in the lives of the families. Our soldiers are over there putting their lives on the line every day. 21 soldiers have died since the beginning of this shutdown. And I hope that if you take a look at the last 6 or 7 months, this is a higher frequency of death rate than we've seen in the last 6 or 7 months.
I think it's even higher. I think it's 26 people.
Is it 26 as of today?
Died, yeah, as of right now, 26 people have died since the shutdown started. And as you say, this is the most important duty that many would say a government could fulfill, looking after, as Abraham Lincoln said, honoring those left behind from those who fall on the battlefield.
And that's why I'm so proud to be a board member of Fisher House, who's now stepped up to the plate like they always do, where the rubber meets the road, and they are there to provide services to our families and our fallen soldiers and our soldiers, family members of soldiers who are wounded. They're the ones who built the Fisher House Center in Dover, Delaware, so that families can come and stay for free when they retrieve the precious remains of their loved ones. And how dare we shut that down? Can you imagine for a second, Piers? Your mom gets a call, or somebody gets a call. Their son just died. They go to the bank. First, they don't make enough money to get on the airplane to fly to Dover, Delaware. They go to the bank, they have it. They look at the news, and somebody says, "You're not even going to get the money we owe you for your loved one putting their life on the line to protect our democracy." I'm sorry. How dare they? Yesterday, I saw several congressmen and senators just blow this off. Oh, we're going to take care of it. No, they're not. They're going to just stopgap, Band-Aid this. And next week, they'll close commissaries. They'll close PXs. They'll put soldiers and sailors out on the streets that won't be able to eat, won't be able to take care of their children while they go to work. Why don't we do something today? Your show reaches so many people. Maybe we can get Americans out there who can jump on the devices and start tweeting and emailing their congressman and say, look, while you clowns act stupid right now over all other issues, let's sequester and pull out the military and say anything they need, we fund. Start there right now. Play your silly games with everything else. But remember, 26 have died. Tomorrow another may die. The next day another's going to die for our democracy, our freedom. How dare they? I don't know, man. I'm at a loss because, you know, as I started looking at the research and trying to figure out why could our Congress and Senate do this? You know why? Because less than 20% of them ever put on a uniform. They had the audacity to send our children off to die, and none of them put on a uniform. They're down there talking about how American they are, how much they respect this Constitution, and not one of them was willing to step up to the plate and put on a uniform. Oh, I'm sorry, 20% were. 20%? Go back 15 years, and we had about 45%. Go back 30 years, we had about 60%. I would bet you they would not leave a man behind the way these guys have.
Montel, tell me this. I mean, you're a smart guy. You're a smart businessman. You're a great American. How do you resolve what seems to be such an implacable divide between these two parties?
Unfortunately, You know, we talked about this on one of the previous visits
We
that I was
did.
here. I said, unfortunately, Americans aren't paying attention to the fact that so many of these guys down there aren't doing this because of us. 26, 36, 41, 51 years at a job. Are they really doing this to preserve their job? And at the end of the day, how have they been affected? How many of them lost a child over there? Maybe a couple did, I'm sorry. I shouldn't say because I'm not going to disrespect. One or two did. But how many of them went by and visited Walter Reed last week? How many of them went up and saw the bodies and those transfers go back to the family in the last 10 days? You know, I don't know. I don't know how they're going to fix this. I think what we have to recognize is just respect the law. You said it earlier. The law of the land, you know, is there for Affordable Care Act. And, you know, we aren't even paying attention to this. This is like, you know, a snowball rolling down a hill. We're going to settle this. We're going to settle this. We will. But then 2 years from now,
Same thing.
when baby boomers hit the age where 45 to 50% of them have one chronic illness, and by 2020, when 60% have one chronic illness and 80% of them have two, healthcare, what are we talking about? It's shut down in America. We should be talking about what was the truth, and that is we don't have a healthcare system. We have a sick care system, and start teaching people how to relate to a healthcare system.
Montel, come back again soon, because I love
Please,
the
I have
passion
to.
you bring to this. You speak on behalf of so many people. You've got a new initiative called Living Well with Montel, a new show called Montel TV that launches October 15th
Tweet.
on livingwellwithmontel.com.
Tell them, leave the guys alone, please.
Montel, good to see you. Thank you very much.